Hello, everyone. How's everybody
Hello,
doing
ladies.
tonight? You're freezing in Virginia. Yes, happy
Yes.
Saturday. I've been looking forward to this, and I can't wait to share my favorite texture. I've been doing this for years, but I've recently, in exploring and playing with new products, found new ways to do this, and it's so exciting. And I just want to keep doing it. Explore and experiment. That's what it's all about. If we don't do that, we can't find new things, and new art would never be produced ever. It would always be the same. We need to explore and play and experiment to make it to come up with new things. So, with that said, we'll give everybody a few minutes to get here. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Gigi.
Fran's here.
Hi,
Fran.
Fran and Debbie.
Patricia, Mariah.
Hey,
Probably
Patricia and
Mariah.
Mariah, they were here first. Messy
Margalo and
Palette
Lynn. Yeah. Gigi.
and Anne,
Julie.
Julie, Lynn, Margalo, hello from down the road, from up the road. You're down the road. I'm north.
Sylvia's here.
Oh, hey,
Toby's
Sylvia.
here.
She's ready. She's got her
Yeah.
palette knife and her paintbrush, and she's ready. I'm not, I'm going to move over just a little bit because of the split screen. We're going to
Oh, take me off.
have,
Take me off the screen. Just take me off the
okay, we're
screen.
going to have Candy Read chat, and I'm going to go full screen while I do this so that you guys understand what I'm doing. And if you guys have a question, put it in caps for Candy to see, and she'll ask me the question. Otherwise, just, chat amongst yourselves. And that's great. I hope that all of you are going to roll up your sleeves and dig in tonight. We might do this in two different portions because I want you to have a chance to have some dry for another night that we do this, but I'll go through it all tonight and get you started. All right?
And we have Laura. People. Pepple. Pip. Yeah, I can't. It's blurry.
I'm going to go
I
to
need to
one
get better.
screen now.
I need to get better glasses, man.
I'm about ready for new ones. I get that.
Kathy Rawlings is here.
Hello, Kathy. Good to have you. And the messy palette.
Yes.
Hi, Toby. Who is the messy palette? I know the name, but I don't know your name, I think. She's sharpening pencils for shaving. You can
Yeah.
totally use that texture on this project. So it can be anything from, and these are just some samples. This one is on wallpaper, which I can stick to anything so I can make it, hard and structured here. But let's put these aside and I'll show you what you can use. Anything here. Crackle paste. This is a fluid crackle paste from I said deco art to someone, and it's actually folk art. It's made for furniture and home decor, but it's thinner and it's more transparent, and it gives off a smaller crackle, but I haven't played with it enough to find the large crackle in it to see, because with furniture you have paint, and you would hope that your crackle is big enough to match the size, the scale of your furniture. So I'm sure there's probably a finish that I don't know about, maybe sealing it with something, so you get a bigger crackle. Light and fluffy, that's great. This is, let's roll these aside, golden heavy gel matte. And this can be mixed with a few different items to tint, but you don't need to tint it. Let's start with white. Let's just get out any sort of texture that you might have, and we will get started. I'm going to show a few of these. So I did some up ahead of time, and I like to plan ahead for these, like a lot. Like I want a day where I just get messy, or maybe it's a whole week. It's been a whole week where I get messy and do some different textures and different stencils. These ones right here, let's pull these aside, get them out of my way. All I did was take a paper bag. My cat's very upset I have a raised voice. I'll talk quieter. This is a
Gotta
paper
listen to the
bag,
cats.
and you really want it to be heavy enough to hold the weight of the paste that you're using. So I would not go any thinner than maybe some newsprint or packaging. Um, but generally I try to put them on harder, thicker surfaces. Let me put that aside. I just found all my circle stencils. I did a bit of this and that with this. This is PM Artist Studio right here. Can you guys see that?
Yep. And they said they love to get messy too, and they love light and fluffy.
Oh yeah, all of it is great.
And the messy palette is Diane Ackery Goodall.
Oh hey Diane. Hi Elsie.
Yeah.
Did I miss anybody new?
No, I think that's
okay. Crackle paste crackles, and light and fluffy does not, just so you know. I've tried this. So this this is just me experimenting. This is the crackle. This is the light and fluffy. The light and fluffy has a different, it's kind of rubbery, so you can't get extra crackles in there. And that's how you can get all those bigger extra crackles on your project. If it's like chipboard packaging, you can do that with it. And we're going to in a minute here, because I've got some that are made up. Let me put this aside, get it out of my way. I also like to go over, say, this is a piece I cut from a piece of paper that I put down, and it's newsprint. I like to go over these because, it just looks like ugly paint over right there.
We have Trudy come in, and
hey, Trudy.
Mystical Misty says hello. This is her first time with us.
Oh, hello. We just spoke on YouTube. She just joined.
Welcome.
Anyway, yeah, welcome. We can use our drop cloths like this, and then we can change the color wherever we want it, and I'll show you how. So planning ahead means spending a day just putting it on different textures, getting it ready. There's another drop cloth piece, and that's a PM Artist Studio, and I'll do that one today too. And like I said, this is crackle paste, and I know that because it cracks more when I do this to it. So you could probably heat it with the heat tool for the impatient ones, Patricia, and have that ready to just adjust after it dries.
It doesn't seem to crackle as much with the heat tool. At least the one I have doesn't.
What's that?
If you use the heat tool, it doesn't seem to crackle as much.
It doesn't.
On mine,
unless you have it on something flexible that you can add the cracks in later if you really want to. But like I said, it doesn't work with light and fluffy or any of the other things that I mentioned. And we can treat these the same way we're going to treat these and glue them to our projects. So I'm going to get these out of the way. And here's my cat. Say hello. Get in your bed. So I put catnip in her bed before this so that she would leave us alone.
Drugging your cat. I'm thinking that's...
Yeah. It's like giving the kids Benadryl, right?
Benadryl. Vodka. Kidding,
yeah.
Kidding.
And while you're spending a day doing this, and getting messy and getting your hands all messy, which I'm going to do tonight, and you might too, if you're doing this with us, have a play on some, this is that waxed green canvas that I have that's so thick. That might be fun later. This is wax paper that I dyed, and then I was cleaning my stencil off on it because it used to be on my desk. Same with this. And then here is another piece of, this was fingerprinting or finger painting paper from the 70s, and I have a whole bunch, and it's supposed to be non-absorbent coated. It is coated on one side, but anyway, I just thought that might be a cool one.
And Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society has joined us.
Hello, Barbara. All right, so we
And
talked about planning ahead.
Diane said that the crackle will pop and get bubbly if it doesn't,
The what?
Tool.
Oh, if you get too close, I imagine, yeah. Mine's more of a drying tool than a heat tool. So, and sometimes I go for that bubbly look with like glue. Sometimes I like to create that texture. The point is you can just play, experiment, have fun, and any texture that you have, you can color in this way. This, I just chose like something I had stenciled over, like something large. So all those master boards you made that you didn't know what to do with, grab a few, the ones you made with your scraps, and I'll show you how to color them without covering up the whole thing. You know, like master boards. Any white space that you might want to cover. There's one with a stencil. And that's PM Artist Studio again, right there.
They have some great stencils.
All right, so let's start, and we'll talk about those in a minute. Let's start by making some of these. I always like to, and this is a greeting card. That's kind of heavy enough to do this. But I like to start on the side that the packaging is printed on, so that this side might be empty. Because if in the event that I don't get anything on it, which I will, but sometimes I don't, rarely, I'm kind of messy when I create. So
we have another newbie.
Oh, hey.
Peggy.
Hello, Peggy. Good to have you here.
Welcome.
So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to choose a stencil. And you guys know you can use any texture on this too after you get it down, if you choose. And I've got this great big Walmart, or not Walmart, Dollar Tree stencil here. And it's really thick and the spaces are open. And that was the other thing. If you're going to do crackle paste, make sure that your stencil has large openings, because the cracks won't show if it's small stuff. And you know, the larger stuff is I think you get better results in the long run with either one of these. So let's start with that crackle paste. So I got this light and fluffy 2 weeks ago. I've already used that much of it.
Felicia's here.
Oh, thank you for asking for a thumbs up, PM Artist Studio. I really appreciate it. Hi, Felicia. Hi, Eileen. Hello, Fran. I think I already said hi to Fran, though, didn't I?
Yeah, I think she was here for one of the first ones here.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so first of all, when you do this, do it before you leave your room if you're just going to do a couple of them. You know, when you turn out the light for the night and head to bed, then you don't have to worry about, you know, watching it dry, because a watched pot never boils.
No, does it? Just have to worry about the cat walking through it.
Yeah, that's all. I stand them up. If they are on cardboard, way easier to stand them up.
He will knock them down.
I really need to hang a line across my room. I've been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
Told my husband. Okay, so with crackle paste, you want to not give it a lot of swishing, and make sure it's thick enough, unless it's a liquidy type, and that's a little bit different. But you still don't want to just go back and forth. You want to kind of get it on there, get a lot on your palette knife, get it on there good, you know, and get 1 or 2 swipes through it. Did you see how quickly I did that?
Yep.
And then, I mean, it's like frosting a cake, really. And then make sure you wipe your edges. And if it's not perfect, that's great, because once you add the color to it, and we're going to use alcohol ink and sprays tonight, that's wonderful. I'm going to set that up there. And there's a lot of paste left.
And she's found
What's that?
Anne was going through boxes of stationery buried in a closet, and she found 100% cotton paper. Ooh.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I'm cleaning off my stencil on this one, it's going to be a lot thinner. And I'm also not going to get that thick layer that I go through just once, but I'm going to try to limit the amount of time I mess with it. All right. Sienna, I can add another one after it dries on the edges, say, if I want to close it up. The other thing you might want to do is use a mask. Now, I pulled some masks out here now that I got messy hands, got this all over. So if you're going to use this on a project, you might want to mask off a space for you to adorn, perhaps. And I just use, you can actually cut up like a Dollar Tree placemat. They get worn out after a while. Those are great for your embossing machine if you need a shim, or great to make masks and stencils. More mask, they're harder to cut. So I just have some punches here, or some papers that were cut out. This is a paint chip right there. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I'm going to do the paint chip. And then when I'm done with it, this is going to be cool too after it dries. All right. Now I'm going to get in my zone, I guess, and you guys have a chat, and I will do this and play.
Anne's saying that the smart people here need to tell her what works well with cotton paper.
What's that?
She doesn't know what works well with cotton paper that she found. Cotton paper she found.
Watercolors? Anything, really. This process, it ends up getting sealed. By the time we're done with this and we add the gesso, it's sealed enough that you can use other mediums on it, you know. I'm just cleaning this stencil off. This'll dry quickly. Just going to set that to the side. Now I'm going to get another piece here and put this mask on it. And I guess I'm going with, the only problem with these stencils, I'm going to grab a different one. Those Dollar Tree stencils have, you know, like, I'm not worried about messing it up. That's the one I liked from them. So the mask would go anywhere on there that you choose. And I'm not trying to get it even or anything. Let's say I go for the edge I usually work on. Now I'm going to use the light and fluffy. And I did make some of these up ahead of time, so who's doing this with us? Candy, will you tally that up for us?
Yeah, Lanny, just let us know if you're going to craft along with us or whether you're just going to watch.
Huh?
They just need to let me know. Oh, Lucy's here. Sandy's going to try. They found spackle at the Dollar Tree store.
Ooh, oh, that's fun. My guess is the crackle paste has something like plaster of Paris in it that makes it crack, and not other products. That would be what I think. That's what it feels like when it's done. And that just means that you just need to seal it really good. And with all the layers that you put on it, it should be sealed. So now I have this area that I can do something with if I want. You can always scrape away parts you don't like.
Sandy, Julie, Debbie, Toby, Sylvia.
Fun. That makes me happy.
Laura.
I can't wait to see what you guys do with this. And like I said, I will probably be doing a live midweek. and we'll get together and you guys can practice with your alcohol inks and sprays, and we'll do that again together. All right. So I do have a tub of water next to me, but I can't stand having anything go to waste. That's how I started playing on different textures with this. Ooh, I know.
Oh, they
Now
can't hear me.
my cat did walk through it one day. I don't have a bathroom upstairs in the, the upstairs,
Yeah.
in the attic. So I have to keep a jug of water next to my desk. And when I do things like this, I like to do them in bulk for that reason, so I can have a tub of water next to me and just go to town and not worry about cleaning off all those stencils.
Can you hear me okay? PM. Well, now I hear echo. Let's see.
All right. This is wax paper that I had some leftover paint on my palette. So I painted the wax paper and then I dripped gold paint all over it, like flicked it. So that'll be nice when it's done. And so will this. I love it
My
when my
volume
man.
is all the way up. I can't go any higher, or we're gonna have reverb out really bad. It's up to over 100%.
How far away is it from your face?
It's right here.
Yo face.
Yeah, it's right next to me.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you're pretty
I
quiet.
took it
Yeah.
off. I took it off the web camera, and it's down onto the mic. So
Huh. Well, that's
and
unfortunate.
my levels are way up on StreamYard.
Huh.
It's up at 142.
I do have a loud voice, and if you're comparing, that might be the problem.
Let me check Windows settings real quick.
Was this one I just did? Yeah. I've done so many of these. I've been like laying them on shelves over books and just, set up a whole system in your room. Okay, so this one I did earlier today. It didn't need 24 hours. It's not super thick. It does have cracks. I don't know if you guys can see those. See the cracks? But I'm going to make more because I can. And I can hear it cracking. Some of it needs a little more work to dry underneath. I wonder if you take the heat tool and just dry the underside. I wonder if that'll work to make it speed up the dry time.
Is that any better, ladies?
Yeah, it is for me. What'd you do?
There was the microphone on the tablet was still active.
Oh,
Somehow, usually I have it disabled because it's across the room, so it was defaulting to that in Windows. But yet StreamYard had the mic, so I'm not sure what was going on.
all right. So now I'm going to gesso
Okay.
these. These are dry. And in a little while, we'll also discuss the sticky, and we're going to make the stickiness our friend on any project where you've got like pages sticking together or, it's going to be really fun. I did a little experimenting with that this week, and I'm tickled with my results, and I can't wait to dig into exploring that. But I had to do this first. That's my problem. I get off on a tangent.
Okay, Toby, if you put stuff on your stencil, the texture paste, you'll want to wipe that off with a baby wipe or something because it'll get hard and get hard to get off of there.
Yeah,
You don't want
that's
it to dry on there.
put it in a tub of water if you
Yeah,
can
something.
manage that next to you, or just use a baby wipe or a
Yeah.
paper towel.
I usually use a baby wipe and then throw them in I usually have a bin beside me with just a little bit of water in it,
That's what I
which I
do.
forgot tonight, of course. Let's see.
You could go grab it if you
Lucy
want.
asked what kind of crackle paste you're using.
Okay, so I have two different kinds here. that have been using this week, and it's the Montmartre or
Enjoy dinner, Margalo.
Have fun, Margalo. We'll see you later. Enjoy the Montmartre crackle paste, and it's from Amazon, and the folk art home decor crackle. And that was some of the pictures you saw. It was smaller. So I'm going to gesso these. I always can't wait to cover up that packaging right away. Um, so that's the only thing I feel impatient about when I'm doing this.
Yeah, waiting for it to dry.
But yeah, um, but luckily gesso doesn't take that long.
No, it doesn't.
My trusty brush. This brush is,
Unless you spill it in a big puddle, then it does take a little while.
yeah, absolutely. That's funny. So this brush is like 20 years old, and it's the one I reach for now for like glue and gesso, and it just looks terrible. It's starting to fall apart. It's time. I have others like it, but it was my favorite for so long. And I get right in there. Fingers, doesn't matter. Get it all over. That's why I always put something down.
Sandy said she didn't have any crackle, but she used glass gel beads,
Oh, that's great.
clear
That'll,
tar
yeah,
gel. What is, I don't know what that is, and extra heavy gel.
that'll work on this. That'll completely work on this. Any texture that you have at all will do this. I wouldn't think that like the rust paste would look as good, but anything else, sure. You can also just spread the light and fluffy or the crackle right over it and press a texture into it. That was why I said textures, in the description, because that's always an option. So while this takes a moment to dry, because this won't take very long, and if I need to, I can put you on full screen and mute me for a second and hit the heat gun. Actually, let's do this too, just to get a little bit on there. While I wait for them to dry, I have some other things here to share.
Margie's in the house.
Hey, Margie. She's late. Oh, my goodness. What has happened? She took a nap, didn't she?
I don't know. This day just flew by.
I've been playing all week. Yeah.
I've been trying to
digging
get through the week.
into it.
It was my last full week of working.
Oh, yeah. You're retired now, aren't you?
No, not yet. I got a couple days next week, and then I'm off most of the next week, and then I got one more day after that. But this week was my last full week.
All right. Did I say hi to Lucy? Hello, Lucy.
I think we did. She came in right before the mic issue.
Oh, whoops. I forgot this. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll share a couple things here. There goes the cat. I'm going to have cat prints in this.
Yeah. Margie said she was creating. What were you creating, Margie?
Yeah. Not something with messy hands, of course. You can wear gloves for this, too. If you don't like to get messy, gloves are allowed because, alcohol ink, too, is one of the products I use. We talked about making extra crackles, but I'm also going to show you if you put it over something that maybe you've gel printed and that you love, like you love parts of it, you can always color them with something else, and I will share that later. So that's what that's going to get because I decided I loved it. This, I just used a palette knife and some crackle and went over it. No stencil, nothing special. just on a piece of chipboard, and I used the wrong side.
Margie's working on ATCs for a year-long thing on mixed media morsels.
Oh, mixed
Sounds
media
fun.
morsels. That's familiar. Who is that?
I don't know. Leslie
I was
Weaver's here.
tickled. What's that?
Leslie Weaver's come in.
Hey, Leslie. I knew she was going to come tonight. So I'm just making more crackles here.
Julie's using up some old modeling paste, trying to get rid of it.
Oh, that's a good idea. It's a great way to do this. So I have a whole stack of them to work on. If you do not have and you want to play along with us tonight, if you do not have any of these dry, they're not dry yet, grab a piece of cardstock or photo paper and give it a good run through your embossing machine in a folder, because then you can practice. Those are great things to practice on. And this was a greeting card. Great practice. And this was another thing I did. I'm just waiting for this to dry. This I put crackle medium on, and it was this one here. So it's more transparent. And I smushed two cards together. Just smushed it. And look what I got here. I love them. I can't wait to color these. I'll probably use pearls on them because they're black. I
Oh,
love them.
Lois is here too. Lois
Hey,
put in her
Lois.
paper. Sorry, I didn't see you.
That's okay. I'm. If you're busy too, it's hard.
Well, I just overlooked it. They run together. When you
This
get
what?
old, the words seem to just go together and
They
blur.
do. This is also that small, thin stuff. I have a hard time seeing them. I have to lean in and squint.
Yeah.
Is my lighting all right? I could turn on another light.
No, it looks bright enough to me.
Okay. This has the sticky on it, but this is gesso, and you can see all the marks. There's the gesso again. Can you see the marks? So if you don't have fancy tools, you can just use gesso. And this is not done, obviously. It's in a work on stage. But all I did was squiggle on it with my palette knife through the gesso. And that's what I got. So those crevices and swirls will end up showing up as I work on it. And this is a piece of packaging. It's thick enough, they're heavy enough, and that was just uh, like a first layer. So that'll be fun to play with.
Margie's laughing at me. She says that's why she types in all caps. Even those are hard to see,
Laughing at your
Margie, sometimes.
blindness. Oh,
Especially when I'm crafting
Margie.
along. When I'm crafting along, I'm looking at a smaller screen.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting at my desk, I have like a 27 incher. I can see.
Let's click over to you, and I'm going to use the heat tool real quick. Okay?
Okay.
Gotta get this on first.
Yeah. Hope you all are having a good weekend. I've been kind of, like I said, today flew by. I had so much to do. My dog was sick the other night. Just, oh my God. Oh, terrible. It's terrible. Nothing worse than waking up and your dog's been messing around, messed up, had accidents in like 3 rooms. It stunk to high heaven. Been watching her all weekend, last couple days. She seems fine now, so she probably just got into something outside. Her neighbors tend to throw their leftover food out in the back ditch, and trying to keep them out of it is difficult sometimes. And I think she finally got something that didn't agree with her. So, and then they complained to me that she's over in their yard all the time. That my dogs are over there all the time, and I was like, well, yep, they do, because they can get bones over there. They can't get them here. We don't give them to them because the one has a tendency to swallow them instead of chewing them because she's afraid the other dogs will get them, and then she chokes. So I'm like, if you can't stop throwing food out in the back ditch, that I can't keep them out of there. There's no way. Our yards aren't fenced. I can't do it. I mean, they go over there. We get them back as soon as we can, but don't put food out there. That's my advice. So, because it only takes them a minute to get there. And then we have collars on that, they're training collars, so you ding it and they come back, but, it takes them a minute. So. Yeah, it was sad, Margie. It was just sad that it was just all over the place. It was just, I felt bad for her. And she thought we were mad at her, and it was just that we weren't mad at her. She said, you're like, oh my God. Oh my God. It was just. So I've been mopping and trying to make sure we got everything that didn't miss a spot. So.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, let me put this away. I know we don't like all the heat tool on the stream. Luckily, we get to watch what's on Candy's desk if I have to do that. So
no, I
do it quick.
I got one done, but
what's that?
I said I got one stencil ready. Son.
I could probably do this one, but it doesn't have any stencils on it. They're dry enough. Okay. For the first one, I think this one here, it's not quite dry. Okay, this one here then, we're going to use some alcohol inks. That is the plan.
Elsie, where are we in the video? My phone shut off. I'm not sure. What?
Oh, hi, Tina.
Oh, yeah, hi, Tina. I didn't even see her.
Did I say hello to everyone? Anybody else come in?
No, I haven't seen anybody else come in. Tina was the other
All right.
And then, like I said, Elsie says her phone shut off. She wants to know where we are in the video.
Elsie, we just put texture on a card, and because it's texture, it will need time to dry. But if you really wanted to experiment and play with your alcohol inks tonight and try some of this, you can emboss with your embossing machine, if you have one, and a folder, something that will take alcohol ink. This is actually it was a coated greeting card. But that's just to practice on. And the thing with the postcard, I like this size. It's a good practice size. They're little bite-sized pieces that you can just get through a lot of experimenting with. You could do a big one up ahead of time too, and then cut it into the postcard sizes to experiment and play. But like I said, if we don't experiment, we don't learn new things. So now I'm going to give this a little spray just to get it going. I've got my little spray box here.
You need to go back full screen, Sharon, so they can see you.
Oh. All right. So I've got this little box that I put on my desk. It's just a little, flea medicine came in it. And I'm going to get a spray out. My cat is sitting in the box next to me. She is watching me every move. Every move I make. So I just want to give it a little bit of that. And all of these things could be mixed together. I've mixed them all. And let me get a little water. And then I'm going to just run a paper towel over it. I just want to get some color on there. You could skip this step if you add another layer of paint. Just in case anything shows through. I mean, you can go with white. That's fine too. I love watching it drip. It's so much fun. So much fun.
It's mesmerizing.
What's that?
It says it's mesmerizing
It is.
watching that
Well, and
thing.
it's fun to lose control. Sometimes if we feel like we have to be in control of everything, it's exhausting. And losing control, is alcohol ink, gel plate, any of those sort of mediums where you're giving it up to the art world to see what comes out is, I think, so much fun. Okay, so I'm going to leave that in my little box there. I always keep quite a layer of paper in my little box because I take these out one by one and see, like I turned that one over. Look at that. There's so much fun stuff there to work with.
Yeah.
All right, I better spray two because I'm going to want them both dry. Let's spray this one while we're at it and watch those cracks appear. Kind of work assembly line style, but it shouldn't feel like work. It should feel like fun, like finger painting as a child. So all the color that you add is going to make those cracks come out and show up when it dries. And there's ways to highlight them even more when you're done. But those are the last steps. Okay, I'm going to set this up here to dry. I'm so bad, I stick stuff on my keyboard.
I've
I'm
done that.
going to take away the box. Kitty, what are you doing? Are you playing too? She just wants to get in my stencil drawer. One time she crawled in the drawer, and it's a deep drawer. There's a drawer under it. And she crawled in there and crawled back under it behind into the other drawer. And I couldn't get her out of there. She would not come out. She thought she found a new place to lay. And I couldn't close my drawer or I would hurt her.
Having fun.
It was pretty bad. Okay, Candy, we're going to have you on volume because I'm going to do this and I'm going to need to use my heat tool a couple times just because it's alcohol ink and you want to dry between each layer before you keep adding. It just separates the color and then you don't have a lot of mud. But some mud is good and you'll see why. You'll see what happens and where that sticky is a good thing. So I've got, this is hand sanitizer and rubbing alcohol mixed together in a bottle. And the reason I do this is because it keeps it more contained. So your puddle is going to be less runny than just the liquid of the alcohol ink or the alcohol. So that's something I always have made up, and I really like it for other things. You can clean your desk with it too.
Yeah, Eileen was asking what spray you were using.
That's what this is. Oh, the other one was, it's just walnut ink, and I have I got the crystals for Christmas, and I've just been refilling this bottle. Believe it or not, I got this bottle in the fall, and I went through the entire bottle, and so that's why I asked Santa to bring me crystals. Because I think it was Lucy that told me about the crystals. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna move this stuff out of my way. And I do have some colors out here, just a few to play with. Let's actually grab a red and a yellow too. Ugh, I don't even know why I have pink. All right, there's a...
Toby just inherited her daughter's cat. She said she's never lived with a cat, so it's been 4 days of trial and error. Oh, the cat will let you know what you do right and what you do wrong.
I have always been allergic, and I love her. She is so special. She's my best little friend. She follows me everywhere. It's like having a dog.
Yeah, some are like that. Some are more social than others.
Oh, yeah.
We've had all kinds.
Well, she's mad at me because she wants to sit on my lap right now. So, okay, I've got out some colors here.
I've had one that was mad at me for 4 or 5 years now, 6 years.
Mad for that long?
Yeah, we had a pit bull, and him and her were the best of friends. They used to play
Oh,
together, sleep together. They've been together since they were kittens. And
wow.
when we had to take him in because he got
She thought
sick, and
you took her best
yeah,
friend.
and we didn't we didn't bring him back. She was like, "What?" She wouldn't
Oh,
have nothing to do with us for a long time. She'd stay in my son's room. She wouldn't even come out and see us anymore. And then
well,
the other big dog we had, she kind of got along with him, but she didn't play with him much. And then she, about a year after we had to put Duke down, and she started playing with Sarge, or not playing with him, but she would come out and visit with him.
but she's
And
just going to
then
outlive them all, isn't she?
yeah, because then he started having seizures, so we had to have him
Oh,
right when COVID
oh,
started. Right when COVID started, he about 2 months in, we had to call somebody. We had to call a vet, and he came in and met us so he could take care of him. So, and then so we come home without him, and she's been like, "What? I just got over the last one." so,
oh.
but
You're going to need to
then
get her a puppy so she has a while.
no, she don't like most dogs she does not like. She does not like the new puppies that we got. She does not wants nothing to do with them, not anything. Um, and the new kitten we have, she's like, "Stay away from me." she,
Oh, I
she's
think there
very
was a
she,
question.
she's antisocial.
Hold on. What ratio? Debbie said. Oh, ratio to mix hand sanitizer and alcohol or the
Oh,
watercolor ink? This is half and half. The hand sanitizer and um, rubbing alcohol, half and half. But really, I mean, as long as you thicken it up, that's what you're doing. So it doesn't travel as far. I before I turn my volume off, I want to let's see. Toby said, "CK Art, hello." Let's see. Spraying with an alcohol ink or another kind of spray. Um, oh, that was the walnut ink. Just make sure I get it all here.
yeah.
All right. And the ratio I used for the walnut spray, I just took my fingers and plopped some in there and filled the bottle up. And if I don't like the depth of darkness or if it's too dark, I'll just add more water. It's all fun. It's all just art. It doesn't matter. It's just for a good time. That's all. It doesn't
She's like a
matter.
chef. She doesn't measure anything. She just throws it in there.
I do not. And absolutely. And that's how I cook too. I mean, I have a gist of it, I cook like I art. So, I never make the same thing twice. It's hard for me to do that with art too. Same thing. A little bit of this, a little bit of that until you feel like it's right.
Yeah, you weren't spraying with an alcohol ink, were you? Was it an alcohol ink that you
No,
made, or no?
you shouldn't
It
put
was a
alcohol ink in
distress.
a
No,
sprayer.
yeah, you can't. Yeah, you're not supposed to spray that. That's the distress or
There are two
distress
reasons.
water.
It's got a little bit of uh, resin in it
Yeah.
and it clogs up the sprayer. And two, having that fine mist out to breathe is really not good for you. So those are reasons why you don't want to put that in there. Although I use this alcohol, so I don't know. We're gonna get drunk tonight. Doesn't take much for me. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my volume off, and I'm gonna do this so I can use my heat tool, and you guys can watch. And I'll do another one, so you can see it twice. Okay. And keep in
Wow.
mind that I will do lots and lots of layers. So, I mean, I'll take breaks so we can answer questions. Let's see, where's my mouse? I got to get back down to the bottom of the.
Gigi, you haven't missed much. She's only done the first couple layers. Just
Yeah.
Trudy's got a zoo. Yeah. I can relate, Trudy. We used to have, currently we have 3 cats and 4 dogs. But we used to have 52 snakes, 6 lizards, 4 scorpions,
Trying to figure out how to turn my audio off.
1 giant spider, a rabbit, the rats to feed the snakes.
I want to turn my mute.
Yeah, just hit mute. So, yeah, we used to have a zoo. We had boas, some rattlesnakes. What else? We had different kinds of snakes. We had some king snakes. I had boys. And my husband, they love snakes. And we had ball pythons, red-tailed boas, carpet pythons, some milk snakes, some corn snakes. We had a bunch of them. Ooh, 8 dogs. Yeah, my husband's mad. We got 4. I told him if we quit going hunting in the woods and we didn't find these stray dogs, we wouldn't have so many. Fran didn't get your gin today? Yeah, true. We had a hawk for a while. We had one that was hurt, and it was why we had the snakes, and we had the rats to feed it when it was hurt. And so it would come, and then after it got better, it would still come back, and we'd feed it. It would take the rat right out of our hand. It was fun. The kids loved when the hawk was here. That lasted for about 2 years. Snakes used to terrify me too, Margie, but no, I didn't handle the rattlesnakes. I was not touching those. Didn't mess with those at all. Those are my husband's. And I told him, one of them bites you, I'm going to laugh at your ass. So the boas, I didn't mind those. The ball pythons are probably my favorite because they don't get that big. And we had a carpet python that we really liked. He was very, I don't want to say playful because he wasn't playful, but he loved being out of the cage. He loved when you were holding him and interacting with him. He was just very, I guess he was a social snake. I don't know. He was different than all the other ones. But he'd been handled since he was a baby, frequently. And then when we got him, he was 6.5 feet long. But he'd been used to being handled every day, and he really liked it. Oh, milking venomous snakes. It just amazed me when we were in the snakes how many poisonous snakes you could buy online. I was like, really? Okay. Yeah, we had all boys in my family here, and they took over. The kids liked the snakes. They thought they were cool. And you can't let them know you don't like them, because if you did, then they'd torment you with them. So I kind of faked it for a while. The worst for me was when I got bit by one of the big boas. And there's different kind of bites with snakes. It was a feeding bite. He thought we were feeding him. So he struck to kill it, and it hurt really, really bad. Most of the time, if they're just upset, they just bite and let go. He didn't let go that time. He bit my hand and wrapped. It was not funny. Yeah, I love what she's doing. Looks really neat. You see the one that was in their video for the thumbnail? That's just beautiful with the rust colors and it's beautiful. Julie waiting for stuff to dry is the worst. Yeah, mice and rats procreate rapidly. Trudy, we had a ton. Because like I said, we had 50. At one point, we had 52 snakes. We have a building out back that they stayed in and had cages, and we had special boas, colored morph boas, and that's what they were. He was trying to raise them and sell them. Yeah, dogs and cats are cuter. I'll give you that. But you want to know something? Snakes only poop like once a month. uh, and sometimes, not even that. We had one snake that didn't eat for like 6 months. I think he wanted a girlfriend. And so he didn't go to the bathroom very often at all. It might not be Yupa. We'll have to ask her. I know they were using glossy photo paper on some of this stuff. We'll have to ask her when she comes back. Oh, sugar gliders. Oh, those are cute, Trudy. A hedgehog. My grandson had a hedgehog for a while. They make you poop, Margie. 50. No, you kind of get used to them. We had the only snakes I really didn't like were the poisonous ones. That my cousin had a couple different kinds of rattlesnakes, and then he had some Louisiana pine snakes, and they're endangered here. They're losing their habitat, but they're just like a corn snake. But they're vicious. God, they're vicious. They mimic. They rear up like a cobra and hiss at you, though they're not poisonous. And then they rattle their tail against the cage or in the leaves, so it makes it sound like a rattlesnake. So you have this non-poisonous snake that rears up like a cobra, rattles its tail, and it'll bite you in a minute, and it freaks you out every time, even though you know it's not poisonous.
Okay,
They love what you're doing. They wanted to know if it was Yupo paper or
this is a cereal box, believe it
a
or
cereal
not,
box. Okay.
because I put that layer of medium on it and then I gessoed it. It actually works really well. So you don't need to go buy expensive products to make it work. And you just play with it until you feel like it's done. And you notice this little bottle also has this in it. But what happens when I spray this on there is magical. It just makes all these little cells if you can get it dried fast enough. So if you don't spray too much on there and it
Yeah.
just dries quickly, you get all those little cells. But I'm also adding white back in, because I like the way that looks right there. Um, After I get to this stage, I start working in smaller areas. I got it covered. Now I want to zhuzh the areas I want to, make different. And it's all about experimenting and playing. That's how I discovered doing it this way. And that I could use a cereal box, honestly.
What is that you're putting on there now?
It's white. It's just a
Oh.
cheap alcohol ink set that I got for resin. And
Okay.
but white really wakes it up. And don't worry about all these little dark areas. When you dry it, they kind of pool out and it gets dark around the edges. Don't worry about them being too dark or puddling up or becoming mud or whatever, because those are the sticky spots we're going to make friends with in a while. Like, hello, friend. I don't know why I put the lid on every time. It's really dumb. I think I need more of this color right here. Just working in small areas. Okay, I'm going to mute myself again. It's really fun to do this.
CK Art said so. Matte medium, gesso, a stencil with crackle paste, then alcohol inks in that order.
Yes, that is one way.
There's so many ways.
There are, but we're going to discuss two different ways to color the dried medium.
All right, Trudy, have a good night. Love you too. We're done talking about that, Fran. I was I left on a deployment for 6 months, and when I came back, we had snakes. So that's how I was introduced to them. Oh, now she's going to use gold. It's looking really good, Sharon. India ink to outline the letters. I wouldn't see why not, Sylvia. I've never used coarse pumice gel, Julie. But then I'm just getting into mixed media, so I don't have that much of this stuff. Now, how can you be Fran on the edge if you don't like snakes? My thing is bugs. I don't like bugs. A mad scientist or a perturbed scientist. See, when I do that, it just comes out as a big, nasty looking blob. It's looking good, Sharon. Sylvia, you could use whatever you wanted. I would think either of them would work. It depends on what you want to do after it. Creative but not artistic, Margie. I think it's a little of both. I think you're a little of both. You're very artistic with yarn. I know that, and I've seen your journals. They're very artistic. Crazy dogs. Good night, Fran.
I'm listening. Good night, Fran. Thank you for coming. I'm still paying attention. I'm just okay. So
Uh,
I was gonna
Margie,
give it one
crocheting is
more.
way more than just following a pattern.
What's that?
Margie said she was creative but not artistic, and I said she was very artistic. I've seen her journals and I've seen her Afghans. She's very artistic.
She
She
is.
said she said yarn and crochet is just following a pattern. No, 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 it's not. It's
I
having the
and see,
patience to do
I
it.
probably could do that, but I wouldn't enjoy it the way I enjoy more
Yeah.
free art. And that's just because we're different kinds of artists, and that's still an art
And
form.
Sylvia had asked. She stenciled some words, and she wanted to know if she could outline them in India ink or black acrylic, and she could use either. It just depends on what she wants to do next, right? Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
It depends on how many layers she's going to add to it and what's coming going on top of it. If you're going to use anything that's watercolor, which we're going to get into in a minute, um, like watercolor based, i.e., your sprays and sprinkles and your watercolor palette, obviously.
and
Um,
acrylics.
yeah, that's different. But you know that those are always going to move. Your watercolors will always move. They're water soluble. So when you add stuff to them, they move around. I got to give this one more zhuzh right here because it's bugging me. And I just wanted to say bye to friend. And then we're going to put this aside and let my sticky spaces form. And I'll show you what's going to happen with it next. And then we'll start on the other one.
Okay.
Any questions about this? I
No,
mean,
they all said it was looking good.
and it really changes after you um, do the sticky step or the like a little bit of gold wax over those ridges, or you could always add ink. Like if it's a final step, that is, you could go with a Stabilo or a watercolor pencil and go around the little edges, but you shouldn't need to if you add a gilding wax or go with the embossing powder that we're going to do in a minute. So I'm going to set that aside. It needs to dry a little bit. It's already dry on that corner that I was going to heat, so it doesn't matter
Margie
now.
said it was very beautiful.
Thank you. It's going to change. So just like that other one changed, with each step, let's do this one next. So this one, because it's thinner, it's on that paper bag, and we're getting a lot of those now because, they're using them in stores more again. I always get excited when they put my groceries in a paper bag. Always, always. Because I look at it like free art supplies.
Yeah, but I'm overflowing. I'm like,
Yeah, I am kind of overflowing now.
I'm
Um,
like, I need plastic for the cat litter.
yeah. I luckily I had saved a lot of those, and I have a hamper full in the laundry room. But I totally know what you mean because I'm not going to use those thick plastic bags. I feel like we went two steps back with the companies that are making the thicker plastic bags now, because now we have a bigger plastic problem. It's thicker. It's going to take even longer to. Kitty, did you see her?
Yeah.
There she is. Okay, so with this one, let's do I mean, it's pretty porous. Should we do alcohol ink one more time or should I move this into the spray? What do you guys
Spray.
want?
Spray.
You want to do the spray? Okay. Let me close up these few here. And with the spray, there's a couple different ways you can apply it. And that is how you might go about doing something like this. I'll just dip my brush into that spray and drip it down over these, and it'll seep into the cracks that are really large, and I'll just be coloring those areas. I don't think you can tint crackle paste, um, so that would be the way to go about it. And if you guys spend a day or a week or however long you want, just making things like this up ahead of time, you can always have them ready. If they're especially on like a paper bag, because you can glue it to anything. So I got to get out the box. Oh, she stepped on one. Cat print.
Texture.
Secret.
Free texture. Free texture.
Yeah. So let
Night,
me.
Lucy. She's going. She's off to
Oh,
make
good
dinner.
night, Lucy.
Enjoy.
Yes, please come. Please catch the rest on replay, and I'd love to see uh, your version of this, or if you just do the first step and join us next week for another alcohol ink tutorial. Thank you so much. All right, I gotta grab sprays. They're behind me. Totes. Totes my goats. I'm just gonna grab, I've got 2 bins full of sprays. I'm just gonna grab one. I kind of have them separated into greens and blues, but I had a couple
Yeah.
spares I brought up and I had to throw those in there, so it kind of has a little mix now. Okay.
Mine stay organized for like 5 minutes. Right after I'm done with them.
Yeah.
The first time I use them, they're no longer organized.
Well, I usually end up with a stash of them on my desk, actually. So let's see. I'm probably gonna do. I haven't even used the white. I wonder about that. I want to see it. Where is it? There it is. So this is a little. Oh, Heidi swap. I was saying Lily swap because I can't read the writing. I'm going to try the white first and see if it doesn't bleed out more pastel-y colors, as it mixes in the next layers. So sounds fun to me. Oh, is that in your way? I'm
Margie
sorry,
said,
ma'am.
a goat in a tote cross a moat in a boat.
Totes my goats. That's a ridiculous saying, isn't it? It's never been used. Okay, first, um, change your couch papers and use them for things like this. Just put those papered bags down in there. And so what is white supposed to work on if not this? Because I don't see a difference. Oh, there's a ball in there.
Dark.
That's why.
Dark. Dark papers.
I only heard it for a minute. But I think this one is more like paint. It's opaque. Well, it looks opaque in the bottle, at least. Well, that's going to make me mad. Okay, I'm going to turn off my sound because you guys are going to watch me and there will be heat tool in between so the colors do what they need to do. So better move that. I'm getting stuff on it. Kat, will you hold my phone, please? Thank you. Sylvia, no, that's 2 bins of watercolor sprays.
She's probably got more alcohol ink.
No, I don't actually.
Oh, really?
I'm going to have to get more now that I've discovered that I like it because I
Yeah.
wasn't real comfortable with it until I started doing this. And this is a
Yeah.
great way to get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Thought she sprayed white. Did she pick a different color I didn't see? I don't even think I have any white spray, Julie. I don't have a whole lot of sprays though. Julie, she does love the spray. She snuck it in. That's what I get for not paying attention. It's like, that don't look like white to me. Yeah, she snuck. You see, I see you snuck the walnut in. They told me. Oh, that's a pretty green. Heidi swap. Colors, or what kind is that? Yeah, I can't read it on this small screen. Hope you guys can read it. White out, yeah, that is dating yourself, Peggy. Can you even buy that stuff anymore? Uh, yeah, I'm kind of with you, Julie. I don't, but you know, you watch her and she gets it really running and it comes out nice. So maybe we're doing it wrong. I remember using it, Peggy. We used it all the time. White out, not for art. Tell it to slow down and walk, Julie. Good one, Margie. I think we're all a little old, Peggy. And Eileen. I'm so old I have to squint to see the chat. No, I didn't sleep good last night. Sorry, ladies, I'm yawning. Yes, only a little old. That's it. Just a little. Sylvia, be nice. No, no, Margie. You're only 7. Yeah, if you feel as old as if we're only old as we feel, 7. Now, my body feels older than my mind. I'll give you that. Yeah, she just kept spraying, Julie, different textures, different colors and stuff.
So remember, all art goes through an ugly phase, unless you're perfect. And then
Wait, what ugly face, Sharon? Have you ladies seen her do anything ugly yet? I have not.
that is only because I keep going. I keep going
Yeah,
and
but
going
you
and
say
going.
ugly face. You haven't hit an ugly face yet.
Really? Yeah, I think it's like at that
No.
in between stage that I wanted to, chat about and let you know that it's not done until you keep
No, we know
adding
it's
and
not done, but
liking it.
it's still not ugly at this point. It's still,
Oh,
it just looks like it might be missing something. But mine get to where it's ugly, and it don't matter what you're gonna do, it ain't gonna Yeah, that's what Margie said. Nope, no ugly scene here. Yeah,
wow. Well,
and they're
thank you.
asking, they're asking how you got that nice patina look
Because I put
on
that walnut ink.
that 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 one you showed as your thumbnail, that one you posted in the group.
Oh,
That
I
little.
I will show you that we're not there yet, but we're going to get there.
Okay.
This one is alcohol ink. We will get there. I will show you today. Promise. Oh, whoops. I got to mute. Sorry. You watch. I
What
mute.
the world is that thing doing? Oh, the cat. My cat stepped on my keyboard. I was like, what in the world is this computer doing? And my keyboard's over on the other side of the room. I was like, what? At least he didn't hit enter. You guys would have been like, well, what is she talking about? Yeah, I think that's me too, Peggy. I don't get past the ugly stage. It just keeps getting uglier and uglier. And then I just like paint over it with gesso and start all over again. That's been my solution. You just leave it for us to do, Margie. Yeah. Well, Sharon makes it look so easy, and then when I try it, it's just not. It doesn't come that easy. I'm getting better, but it just, yeah. Her, her ugly is nothing near what my ugly is. 60s were rough on you. I was still a baby in the 60s. Yep, Peggy, that's what I said. Gesso and acrylic paint. It's my friends. Do you throw it, Julie? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, there's been a few I've wrinkled up and threw in the trash. Oh, I'm just a couple years older than you, Julie. I was born in 65. My youngest sister was born in 67. Three-year-old in mom's makeup. Yeah, I don't see how you watch it on a phone screen, Diane. I can't do it. It's too tiny. I either have to have my tablet or my laptop, but I prefer my computer with the big screens. Oh, mine's March 9th, Julie. Yeah, I'm a big baby. I know that. Tell your knees to shut up, Julie. Don't listen to them. You have to keep scrolling to the end, baby. Yeah, there's nothing that makes you feel older than scrolling through all those things. No, actually, I take that back. When some, I work on the base with the military, and when one of the new airmen come in and they're born after the year you retired from the military, that makes you feel old. You're like, oh my god, I didn't know they were that old enough yet to come in, be born after I retired, and come in. It's hard to believe it's been that long since I retired from the military. Yeah, mine snap, crackle, and pop, Julie. They used to be cute when I was a kid and they had those commercials, snap, crackle, pop. Now it's not so fun. Oh, the doctor went to school with your son? Oh, that would suck. I'm sorry, Peggy. That would suck. I'd have to get up and leave.
Okay, I'm going to quit right there because I need to let it dry, and I'm going to work on the other one. The, the way to get to the patina are not just these steps, but it's the colors you choose. So like I'm out of my favorite set after, but I mean, I'll be adding the brown and orange in, but I want to make sure that these are dry first, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so this I'm going to set over here, and we'll go right into this one. And this time I'll choose oranges. That wasn't the bucket I grabbed. I grabbed the greens and blues and purples.
Yeah, they like it.
That is going to be completely transformed. And I always know that. To me, this is where my ugly phase is. And I know that I might not like it, but after it gets its last layers, it just changes instantly. And that is within 2 steps, you know. All right. So I have these chalkboard ones from Tattered Angels. I got a whole bunch of sprays in a from a lady online in Olympia, like a local person.
Yeah, you need to move that up a little bit so they can see your. Yeah, there you go. Your labels in the way.
This, is that what you mean?
No, no, your the texture junker label was in the way. That's why you need to move your box up a little bit. They
Oh,
couldn't see
okay.
what you were doing. You're good now.
All right.
They thought you were doing secret stuff underneath the label there.
No. Yeah, it's all secretive. That's
And
right.
they, Peggy says Sharon's ugly is my finished look. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Peggy.
You know, it's one step from being fabulous, honestly. And yours can be that way too. I promise.
Eventually,
I promise.
I
You
might have
can
to
get
start a
there.
new one, but it'll get there eventually.
So at some point you can take out your brush and add color where you may not have had it earlier. Well, that's not cool. Or where you want it, like to put it in an area that maybe the spray didn't go, or I'm just sharing that with you. And that's why I said to have a brush.
Yeah.
But notice this is any of these sprays, they'll dry lighter. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this one. I'm going to mute myself again, and I'm going to have fun with this one real quick. Okay.
Okay.
It's all about play and practice. I mean, you get a lot of that doing this stuff. Get comfortable with your sprays and your alcohol inks.
Talia said, "Who will believe the conversation I had while watching an art live? Pooping snakes, vomiting dogs, hip and knee replacement. Hey, we try to cover it all here, Diane. Don't be afraid to try, Gigi. I mean, we have to try, and you get better as you learn how to use the sprays on the bottle. For me, were the worst at first because it would come out too much at one time or not enough when I wanted them to come out. And I had to learn how to get the in, how to control the bottle a little bit better. Yeah, we need that. You need that color wheel, Julie, to make sure you're using colors that aren't going to mix and make mud. That is hard. Sylvie, you like the brush, huh? Yeah, Gigi, you gotta try. It's fun. I didn't want to try with the alcohol inks for the longest time, but I have all that extra photo paper. I haven't bought Yupo paper yet. I'm not that good enough with the alcohol inks yet. But learning how to use them on the glossy photo paper, that helps, and you can learn how to move them a little bit. And I'm getting happy with my results. And I just use smaller 5x7 size or whatever I have. And The other thing is to when you're mixing colors, Julie, let them dry. I've learned that. Let them dry in between. That helps too. You don't get as much mud. Yeah, it's went wrong with me too, Julia. Part of it is just you gotta let it dry. And I know they reactivate when you wet them again, but it just doesn't seem to be as much if it's completely dry before you try the next layer. You see how she dries it between each layer. Before she puts another coat on, she dries it really well. It's that time thing again. Yeah, it's a lot of drying, and I get too impatient sometimes, or I forget, or I think I've dried it and I haven't dried it. Yeah, I've done that. I admit it. Like, oh, it's not dry. Oh, red now. Yeah, I'm a little impatient too, Margie. I'm not good at mixing colors, Julie. To get a color I want, I'm not good at that at all. I never get what I want. Yeah, I don't have the patience to mix color. Now, I'm good at mixing like a little white in there to tone it down or something, but to mix colors to get, like, you know, red and yellow to get orange, it's not the orange I want. So yeah, I don't even, I'll just buy the orange I want. Oh, you have a mixing table, Diane? You were doing alcohol inks, Debbie? Yeah, they do. You get the worst colored fingers. Looking good, Sharon. Getting a little bit of glare on that top one, but when you pull it up, when you set it up on it's really pretty. You're down too low. You're down. There you go. The wrong blue tone, and what the other color was. I think it'd be yellow, wouldn't it? Wouldn't blue and yellow make a green? It's hard to keep it in camera when you.
And I'm going to do something absolutely crazy here. I'm not done with it, but I want to see how it's looking. So I'm going to take out you can use gilding wax. You can use Nuvo Mousse. Mine was all drying out, so I got it all wet and mixed it up the other night. But I'm going to start adding it to some areas, and I
Yeah,
can still
you need
go
to move up
over
again. You've gotten lower. You're down below your
there.
banner. There you go.
I just want to see how it's looking
It's looking good.
and how much more color I need to add. So that's the copper. And I've got this greeny gold that I used on that other one. Really, the colors you choose, if you stick to one family or pull up a picture on Pinterest and check out what colors are in your favorite pictures, that's a great way to go about doing it.
They're still asking you to move it up. I guess it's too small on their screen.
There.
There you go.
How's that?
Well, it's fine on mine, but you were fine before.
Can you see those cracks in there? They're wonderful. I just did this one today, so it wasn't even as dry as some of the other ones that I had that I did previously. And that water in the color sprays did not affect it at all.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Peggy said it was gorgeous.
Thank you, Peggy. I want to get back to that first one with all the color on it. I'm excited about that. See, that's where I pressed something into it. And you know what it was? I took a piece of acetate and ran through my embossing folder a couple different designs on a couple different pieces and made some texture plates that I can throw away or use for something else when they get all clogged up. So I'm not ruining anything I love. You could use stamps, but I wouldn't recommend it. You'd have to wash them immediately. You know, if you just spread that on there and you want to stamp something into it,
Yeah.
make some textures to stamp in there. I mean, look at that. Can you see that? That is so fun. All those cracks. And that's just some gilding wax. So I did that to see where it is that I want to zhuzh or adjust. I think this red is too red up here for me. I think that looks completely foiled from that, because remember I added the alcohol ink in with it. I wanted to see some gold on there
Yeah.
in a few places. So should we do something really crazy? I'm going to try it. I'm doing it. You never know unless you try, right? So I'm going to take this sea foamy color. Had I done this in more proper coppers, this could have been completely a patina, but I don't want to go crazy on it. And I'm going to hold it way up here. Can you guys see?
Yeah.
Maybe some localized patina on there. I'm going to get rid of that red. And this is one of those opaque. A Tim Holtz distress oxide would work for this as well.
PM says hit those red spots.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too, and I don't think I
Yeah,
got
Diane,
enough on there.
when she said proper copper, it was all I could do not to laugh.
You know, I am going to get out a Tim Holtz and show, because he has so many nice, and these are almost gone too. I go through these things way too fast. Way. And that's a different one. They're easier to pick out because they're half the size. I don't know why they're half the size. I don't get it. This one is, see how empty? They're empty. Oh gosh, the thing about these is you really have to get them wet to get that oxidation happening. And you can't make a mistake because you can always wipe away what you don't like. I don't want to wipe away all my color, but I do want to get more of that up. And I can still take a brush or a little bit of that to add some splatters. Make sure to do that on a box, so like this. And I'm going to move around some of this right here. Take a paintbrush, just kind of put it here and there where you want it. And with the final step, every one of these shapes will pop still. I'm going to mute for just a second.
Okay, your second's up. Just one of the sprays she was using, Julie. I didn't see what color it was. I can't read the labels. She doesn't hold them up that far enough for me to focus on them. Welcome back, Margot. Did you enjoy dinner?
Okay, we're going to let this dry a little bit and we're going to talk about sticky. I'm going to grab these other ones that we did, or some sticky ones that I made earlier, trying to get that stick on purpose. And here are the ones I made earlier today. There's one of them. Where's the other one at? What did I do with it? To get sticky. Oh, here. That's the one we just did, huh? Okay, so these ones I did earlier today, and you see all the dark spots on here? Those are the spots that are going to be sticky. And they'll stay sticky for a few days. Sometimes they'll stay sticky indefinitely. And here, see where it's shiny? Can you see the shiny bits?
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you how to treat that. But this also works for other things. I know you guys have been talking about sticky papers, and you can use powder on it, but what a great mixed media way to handle it, to use embossing powder. So let's get this all off to the side here. I'm going to get out a gold or a copper. I think I'm going to do copper on that one. Now you could always just use your wax, but this is killing two birds with one stone. So we're getting that definition and breaking up that pattern a little bit more from the alcohol ink. And we're adding the gold at the same time, or the copper or whatever. So I usually keep these over here. That one's got a tear. I think it's time for some new ones. And then these can be used in other ways. Maybe I'll emboss on these. Who knows? I've got my pen out. My Distress pen. I've got a clear embossing thing here. Oh my gosh, I have so many of those. People keep giving them to me, not like when I buy a craft lot, I end up with two in the box for some reason, or you know. So I'm gonna get. Let's see. I've got gold here, which is what I used on one of the photos that you saw, and I know I have a copper somewhere. Maybe I might have a copper. Pale gold. Copper. I just don't want it to be really glittery. So you could use clear. I mean, that would be fun too. But I mean, you're going to get that pop of gold like here. That was where it was sticky. And I didn't expect it to be sticky all over like that. The other one I did wasn't as full of that because this didn't have a texture on it. This was just me playing with alcohol inks, but it was sticky after many days. So one at a time here. Let's go with this one.
Mariah's heading out. She's got to finish a few things before she's off to bed.
Oh, well, good night. Thank you for coming.
See you tomorrow, Mariah.
I will see you in the morning for sure. I appreciate it. See you. Good night, Patricia. I hope it was fun. They actually make embossing plates like this with texture paste, with light and fluffy texture paste on some chipboard that they buy, and they use it on their gel plate, and that's really fun. And if you guys haven't had a chance to go check them out, it's PM Artist Studio. They're a lot of fun. It's a mother-daughter combo, and they're hilarious. My funny bone took a nap tonight, I guess. I don't know. I'm not feeling as goofy as I usually am.
Because you're involved. You're enjoying what you're doing.
Well, yeah, but I laugh at myself when I'm alone. So we're still going to hit it up with this or some wax, but this is for the sticky parts. Remember that, okay? So the magic doesn't happen until that part happens, but you could do the whole thing with embossing powder if you want. Okay, so I'm not sure how sticky this is going to be and where it's going to happen. It's very serendipitous, but I am going to just go at it. I hate it when people dump out their whole bottle. I'm so frugal. It's hard, even though I know it's going back in the bottle. It's difficult for me to dump out a whole bottle of anything. It's like getting all the toothpaste out of the tube, even though it goes back.
Good night, Laura.
Good night, Laura. Thank you for coming.
Or she's saying good night to Mariah.
You could do this. You could put a stencil down if you like on that flat one that I had. I could actually put a stencil down and use my pen and just go around in a few spots and get it where I want it. And I haven't really used my embossing powder much. But I have a collection of it now over the last year. And this is a mixed media, wonderful way to use it. And for me, this is great. I don't really like worrying about all the little intricate lines with a stamp. So you could brush away whatever, but let's see what's stuck on here.
Leslie said she had a great time.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. Leslie, you're going? Oh, okay. We'll see you in the morning. Watch to the end so that you see the magic transformation when you get a chance. All right. We'll see you soon. Okay. So I am going to mute.
My dogs are trying to crawl through the cat gate and the gate that's across the door. Crazy. And they barely fit through the thing. Oh, jeez. Crazy. What they do to get to the cat box. Yeah, Margot, it's pretty cool watching. I've just started collecting all the embossing powders and haven't really played with them too much, but it is pretty cool. I've not used it like this though.
So there wasn't as many sticky areas as I expected there to be in that. I mean, so what I'm going to do, if you want to adjust it, which is a great opportunity, if you see some places that you'd like to have some gold, pin out. You know, you guys know how to do this part, and just start doodling on there, kind of around the cells, maybe around the lines here. Just not everywhere, but, and then some of those raised shapes, perhaps, maybe 3 of those.
Julie says it looks great.
Oh, thank you. Well, the final step really brings it together, I think, and that's my favorite part. It's hard not to just do that part first, like I did earlier, putting the gold on and touching all some of the areas, but it's just amazing once you get it on there because everything just pops out at you. Right here. I love all the little, can you guys see those? All the little teeny tiny circles that are created by the spray of hand sanitizer and alcohol, rubbing alcohol together. It's amazing. That needs more. Okay. So let's see. More gold, please. That should be my life motto. More gold, please. We need more gold. It needs copper. I can't remember where I put it now. This is such a good way to get to know your products too, like your mediums. I love the what ifs. All right, maybe not flick it so violently this time. I think that's why I lost a lot of my powder last time. Maybe I was too hard on it. Get pretty excited and over flick.
She overflicks, ladies. She's an
I
overflicker.
over flick.
She's an overflicker.
I am. I'm over flicking. Okay, I'm muting now.
Okay. Yes, it is, Margaret. YouTube has been the best thing, especially with COVID and being stuck at home. Yeah, I can't. It is It's been amazing. It is. Without it, I'd have went crazy. But yeah, and this is such a great community anyway. The ladies are all great.
Oh, it looks like my last snorkeling trip to the reef. Oh, thank you.
It's pretty. Sylvia says you're a mad tapper and an over flicker.
I am. I'm a flicker for sure. I'm a mad hatter. I do admit that. um, and I caught your comment, Margalo. It's amazing all how Facebook can bring all these artists together. Or not Facebook, YouTube. I love that. I love that we can all learn new skills from each other. See this? See that? That's maximum gold there. Okay, but it's not over. Now I'm gonna take this and bring it all home. I love how many artists I've met over the last few years, and especially in the last year, I've met a lot of new people that do a lot more mixed media from the collaborations, and that is so special to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine going through all this COVID stuff without YouTube?
Well, I don't like to leave the house anyway. I just like to be in my art room. So
Yeah, but it made it so
yeah,
you didn't feel quite so alone. I mean,
right. Well, and also I wouldn't know what to do with all the artwork I was surrounded with, and I wouldn't have people to share it with, and I love that. I love it. I think I would have ended up on YouTube eventually anyway. My husband has a YouTube channel. I can't remember who of us got it first. He does drone videos.
hmm
I feel like it needs something, right? Oh no, there is texture. Sometimes when you think, like, I thought that was flat, that is not flat. And just lightly go over it everywhere, apparently, because sometimes you don't see the texture until you bring it to life. And I didn't do this all over the card anyway, but I know I'm missing some here. Ooh. And then at the end, if I want to, I can touch it up with a little bit more of the embossing marker, and any spots that I think look a little flat, maybe. There's always a bit of a texture on it though, when you use, because you get little stray bits of embossing powder. Plus, if it's a piece of paper that's glued down first, it'll have some extra texture because you've glued it. Anything that creates that texture that you can make interesting, I think, or even the grain of the paper.
they're
Sometimes
asking if you're using wax now, but you're using Nuvo, aren't you? Or
I'm using wax now.
oh,
And I
wax.
also
Okay.
got these ones for Christmas that I haven't really played with yet. Mint Sparkle and Heather Hills. Glennis and I were talking about using those waxes. Neither one of us had any of those, so I put them in my stocking request to play with. Okay, now let me make sure I got it all. There's no texture untouched. Oh, okay. Now when we get the pictures of this up, that
Margot is asking if
separates.
you do any art at Centralia College.
No, I went to art school already. To and then I took the teaching afterwards, and I didn't finish that degree. But I don't do anything like that now. I have you guys. This is what I do. This is what we do, right? Okay, so I will make sure that we get some good pictures of this up on the Facebook group. Did you guys just see my cat's butt again? So when you do that, like I didn't get real heavy into the gold here, but when I do, and it'll probably be copper, that's when everything just pops out. So it doesn't matter if you see little bits that you don't like, or, they're going to be highlighting the ridges all around. So that doesn't matter as much. All right, now we're moving on to this one, or this one we just did. How about that? Let me see if I got some sticky bits.
They got an echo. There's an echo again.
Uh-oh. I don't have anything on. Anything new. I don't even know where my phone is. Oh, it's in the box next to me. All right, I'm going to put the wax away. So you can also take your embossing pad. If you've got a lot of texture on there, you could actually do that and emboss all of the texture, no wax needed. But this has the gold. You guys just saw me do this one. It has the gold alloy also. So we're going to triple down on the gold this time, or maybe copper. Maybe it's copper. Okay. So I'm going to make sure I get it on all these dark spots, because those are usually sticky, or where the sticky might be, at least. And it really depends on how thick you put on the embossing or the alcohol ink. Boy, isn't this True Mix Media? We are mixing it up. Can you get out of stuff, kitty? Did you hear that? I already know that I'm not going to have enough sticky spots on here. I wonder if I can do this. Press it in. Make sure it's stuck down.
Margot was wondering if you taught or did anything there.
Oh, no, I do not. We moved here after I got sick, so I haven't worked in Centralia or done anything here at all. Okay, dumping it out.
Sylvia's thing is glitter, wink of Stella, shine, sparkle, bling.
What's that?
Sylvia likes shiny.
I used to say shiny was my favorite color, but it's more like rust and patina now. But I still like my shiny. I love some gold and some copper. I don't really use silver much. All right, I gotta heat this up first. Just a second. Get away.
afraid to go look see what that was, ladies. Oh. I used to have a cat that would get right. When we were in Turkey, we had to have those propane heaters, and that cat would lay right in front of it. Like, it'd be hot to touch the cat. I don't know how he stood it. It's weird. He'd get right next to it. He'd get as close as he could get to without touching it. Then when we moved here, he would get on when he had the fireplace going. He'd get up on they're up on the brick right by the fireplace.
Look where we're at here.
Yeah, that looks good.
I'm going to hit it up in a couple places. Like, I know that I'm going to be adding the Nouveau Mousse or the wax at the end and bringing out more, but I want to get this in a few more places. I don't want to cover up my little cells, though, because I like them.
Oh, Sylvia, I didn't get to read that for you. You took it out, but
This just transferred some color.
Yeah, cat. Yeah, that cat we had. I'm telling you, that thing. He was so hot sitting up next to that thing. I'm surprised he didn't burn up. Eileen says her shiny thing, she likes real gold and diamonds. Yes, Sylvia, you show your finished stuff in HPP or we'd love to see it.
Yes, please. I put a challenge into the group for a prize today before we did this live.
I hadn't
The
been on Facebook today.
strip tag. Yep. There's my funny bone. The texture tag, the hashtag that I started, and I tagged Julie. There's a video on my channel. She got her video out this morning with the hashtag and tagged Lisa. So I invite all of you to go read that post, and you can use that hashtag when you make some watching the videos with that in mind, and use the hashtag, and I will enter you into a drawing. And the drawing is for a fun prize. I'm not sure why I put the lid on that. So I challenge you also to think about using your supplies in different ways. You know, what can I mix with what and use differently? Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, it was another Julie. Julie. It was, how hot is it out there in Australia, ladies? It's cold up here right now. It's like 31 outside. Yeah, I want to see you do that, Diane. Turn the dog to pee in a cup. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Wow. Okay, now are we ready to watch some magic happen here? This one's going to have the copper and the gold. And I'm just going to, I wonder if I should use that purple. Should I? Should we try it?
Sure. I like purple.
Let's do it. Well, it's matches the tag, but so does this one. This one might stand out more. Okay, so this is the Art Alchemy wax. I'll put a little on my hand there. That was probably way too much. You know what time it is, Candy?
It's 9. Look, it's 10 after 9 here, 12 after, whatever.
So it would be
Central
probably
time.
10 after 8 here.
Yeah.
So the last
No,
one, I think.
no, wait, you're 2 hours behind me, aren't you?
Oh, so
You're
10
in
after
Pacific.
7. I'll have to look.
Yeah, yeah, you're 2 hours. You're in Pacific time. You're 2 hours behind
Okay.
me.
Well, there was one more thing I wanted to do, and that was to show how to color one of the ones that you saw in the post, in one of the posts.
Okay.
I don't think it pops as much as the gold. I mean, I want to make sure all that texture is showing. Because Glennis left, didn't she?
She wasn't here tonight, was she?
Oh, that's right. She went to dinner.
Yeah, she went to dinner.
Well, if she is back from dinner and lurking a little,
Yeah, I haven't seen her.
I want to find out from her if she got some of this wax, after all. I mean, it shows on a tilt, but it's not as... What do I do with that? I can't waste that. That's wrong. Because it's wax, it doesn't... This one doesn't... It's not as creamy.
Yeah.
So it dries up pretty fast on your finger. So I couldn't do that with that one. But this one is super creamy. It reminds me more of Nouveau Mousse, but it's actually wax. I told you we were getting messy. Okay, now we're going to take the copper, I guess. Going back to the gold. Got the copper. This part, I think, is tactile fun for your hands. If you're a tactile artist at all, this part is one of my favorites, where I get to feel the artwork. I always want to touch everything. Anyway, even if it's not my artwork, I want to go up and touch it. And some museums frown upon that. The scene
Yeah,
me
they do.
in front of the Van Gogh, I leaned in too far, but I could see all the little cracks and brush strokes, and it was amazing. Yeah, I almost got taken down by the Smithsonian security. They have like alarms when you get too close. So
Yeah.
they like I'm gonna steal it. Look at me. Do I look like an art thief? I would be way better dressed for that. Okay, so I will find other fun uses for this, but I don't think I like it. Doesn't pop enough on these things. So there we have it. And if I was going to adorn this like a postcard, I might go into this area here. Notice I left some flat areas for that. Or I might go right over, this is where you may choose, oh, I don't really like this area. Or you have options. You guys saw the Tanya McGuire live where I made the postcard box. I was on there with Mariah, and so now I'm making a bundle of different kinds of postcards to put in the postcard box, and I'll post pictures when it's done. I'm not done with the box yet either. I'm still working on that. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to try. Nah, we're just going to go straight for the wax with the Nuvo Mousse. I feel bad about all the heat tool, really. But there's no way to do this without the heat tool.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Drawing those colors in between is very important for alcohol ink. I know, Gigi, if you're still here, I know you said you have them and you haven't really used them yet, didn't feel comfortable with them. I know a couple other people said that too. Drawing them in between layers is good. And it's not necessarily between colors, it's between layers. I mean, you want some of your colors to blend. Oh, I love the cells on here. From the, they're just gorgeous. That color right there. From the hand sanitizer spray. And I only came across that because I wanted something thicker for another project. I don't remember what. And that just really worked for me. And I keep using it and experimenting with it, playing with it, and I've come up with new ways to use it. It's how we get from A to B. Play. You guys can use one of the, if you don't like to touch it, you can use one of the Tim Holtz applicators that's round with the felt bottom. It's like the handle. Looks like a blending tool, the original blending tool, to spread wax. Because it's flat and it'll touch just the areas with the embossing paste or the crackle paste. I mean, any sort of thick medium that you've run through a stencil. Boy, I'm tripping over my words. Oh, what's wrong with me? So
you need a drink.
That's what it is. I'm off the horsetail now. You go on and off, rotated 2 weeks at a time. And I'm totally off the horsetail. And I don't drink. And we've had alcohol in our house forever from Christmas. 2 Christmases or 3 Christmases ago. And Bill brought home more and had 1 drink. And the kids had a drink. The kids are adults. And that was it. That was the end of it because, they brought their own wine or whatever. So I decided, well, I want to know if it's the horsetail helping me or if it's that dropper of Everclear she puts in the tincture when she makes it. And because, I need to know. So yesterday I had the brilliant idea of putting a dropper of rum into, and it ended up being more than a dropper full because I didn't use a dropper and I'm dumb. So here it is, 11 o'clock. I'm rolling around the house. I almost messaged my husband, if I'm passed out when you get home, it's because I'm drunk. I didn't mean to put so much in there.
Sure you didn't.
So I went from not drinking to day drinking, apparently.
She's a day drinker, ladies.
It was pretty funny. So you notice the difference between this and this. Here, let's talk about this. This has a lot more medium on it. That's all it is. A lot more. This has got a couple layers on it. And then there are layers that, like, I went through the stencil, and then I actually, with my palette knife, spread it on like peanut butter and just left it
Huh.
for a couple days before I messed with it because it was so thick. I mean, it's thick. So that's why it has all that crazy texture down in there. It's, like peanut butter. I put it on. And then here is where I went over it with the embossing powder in the sticky bits. Yeah, I love it. These colors, I just need to figure out what my color
Yeah, it's
combo there
beautiful.
was too. What's that?
It's beautiful.
Thank you. I almost think this is brighter. I'm just not getting the contrast I want. Is that different? Yeah, barely. Okay, so this one, we're gonna go about, I don't want to color the paper really. I mean, a little bit I don't mind. But all I'm gonna do is probably just use the walnut. I'm gonna dip a brush into it, and I'm just gonna hit those spots. You can also use a paper towel and wipe it over, but you don't want to bring up all your crackle. That would be sad. And it's those top layers that kind of seal it in. So remember, it dries lighter, so don't be afraid.
Margot's drinking red wine.
Aha, Margalo's partying. She's my neighbor down the road. So little dip. It'll dry a lot lighter. It's better if I get it on there pretty fluid. It's mostly staying on there.
Yeah.
On the crackle. I mean, a little bit on the paper is no big deal. Use the bigger brush. If you don't enjoy this process and it's just not, you're not feeling it, use a bigger brush. Get it over with quick. I just happen to enjoy it. It's like watercoloring. You could use watercolor. I mean, that's basically what these are. So the floodwaters have receded,
Yeah, I'm shaking up distress oxide spray, Julie.
and
I
it's
want to.
starting to rain again.
Is it?
uh,
It's not raining here. It's just cold.
but the
It's supposed to
floodwaters
rain,
went
maybe.
down.
That's good.
Well, it had snowed right before it rained for like hard for like weeks, and the snow melted at the same time that it started raining like that. So it didn't know where to go. But it is a flooded area that is a problem every so many years.
Oh, Peggy said rubbing glitter flakes or foil on sticky areas would look real shiny too.
Oh yeah, I don't have any of that. I think it's called transfer foil. That would work too, where you press it on and then rip it off, and it just takes up in the areas where it was sticky.
Yeah, that would be pretty.
I keep thinking I'm going to put that on my list, but I don't know what it's called. Is it transfer foil?
It's just foil. Bang it on the table. Yeah, no, I'm not going to bang it on the table, Julie.
Well, I have just foil, craft foil, but it's not. It wouldn't do that. You can use regular, like foil for foiling, like a mirror or something, and I have that. And I've pressed that into sticky areas in other projects in the past. I have the sheets though, and I need to make some jars with flakes in all the different, because I have copper, I have gold. Probably never use the silver. I don't know. Could. I might like silver someday.
It's okay on some things. I'm
All
more of
right.
a gold.
Yeah, I'm all copper, gold, bronze, and patina, rust.
Silver, I like the where it's more pewter looking, where it's more tarnished looking.
Yeah, that old silver look.
Yeah.
Margie said if she bangs it on the table, the bottle could break. I did that with a Parmesan cheese once, and the plastic bottle broke. Oh my gosh, I bet that was a mess.
uh, yeah. Now you're on her tsunami watch. Yeah, that's crazy. That's scary stuff there.
The messy palette, where are you?
Australia. She's in Australia.
Oh,
Julie.
Australia.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, Margie said break. I thought I'd look up and read a few comments or something. Watch how it gets lighter. It looks like mud that is has dried in the sun, and it's cracked to me, because it's big cracks.
Sylvia loves gilding flakes. Shiny silver, diamond dust, sparkle.
Yeah. Yeah, glitter would work too, or a pigment powder where it's really fine would take away all your stickiness. I still go over everything that has any texture on it with Nouveau Mousse or gold wax. I need to get some copper wax. The Nouveau Mousse is drying out and I'm mad, but I mean, I've had it for a long time. I need to just watercolor with it.
Just add some,
I
yeah,
could,
add some water to it.
well, I have so many times, and I've stirred it so many times, I can barely keep up with it, and it dries out faster each time, I think, because it's been messed with. I'm
Yeah.
breaking down the molecules or something. I don't know. So I do go over just about everything with that though, because I like that, gilded edges and stuff. It takes me all week to put it together in a Walmart order, which we do once in a while. And I mean all week, because as you're running out of, or as you're finalizing your order, they're running out of stuff. and
Oh yeah.
it'll do it to me over and over again. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll go look for it again, some other brand, say toilet paper or laundry soap. And then it all of a sudden says, when I go back in, oh, we're out of this now. So now I'm looking for another item. It takes so long. So I'm just decided this week to have some of those items shipped,
Oh
and
yeah.
we'll see. But I don't like the idea that they're sending it in 5 different shipments. That seems useless and wasteful, um, and hard on FedEx and shipping.
Oh,
I mean,
I
they're
love
not
when they
charging me for all that shipping, but
we
what?
ordered we ordered 5 cases of something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was Propel, and because you can't get some of it around here, the certain flavors you can't get around here, so you have to order them. And so we went ahead and just ordered 5 cases of it from Walmart. So they shipped 4 of them, and then they said my order was complete. And I'm like, no, I'm missing a box.
Oh my goodness.
And they're like, well, it should be there in the next day or so. If
Oh
not,
my gosh.
call us back. I said, well, then why did you? If it's going to be here, then why did you mark it complete?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
kind of scary.
annoying.
So we waited 2 days. It still wasn't here. So I sent him another email and I said, hey, it still has not showed up. And I'm still owed a case of what the Propel so they were like, well, we have to send it to whoever shipped it or whatever. So the next day they contacted me and I'm on the email with them, and then it got delivered that afternoon.
Did you get your
I was
refund though?
like, no, no, they got it. They finally got it to me, but it was like 4 days later, I think.
Okay, so
One
today we got a
box.
shipment, the first one.
Night,
And
Toby.
oh, good night, Toby. We'll see you in the morning. Thank you for coming.
Oh, Trudy, I'm sorry to hear you're sick today.
Oh no, I need to puke every time I eat or quit eating. Um, no, I don't mean to make light of that. It's just, I need it. I'm at a standstill with that. Anyway, I was going to say with the order, it came right before I came upstairs. I opened the box and it's a pretty big box. And Amazon's been doing that a lot, but that's another story.
Yeah,
And
huge box for one item.
yeah, and everything is wrapped up so tight. I did get some cool wrapping though. It's all like shredded, but it's together. I can't
Yeah.
wait to use that in something. Um, and I start unwrapping things, and all it is 6 little jars of banana baby food, which I like to eat for breakfast, and I don't have to worry about bananas going bad because they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And then one little jar of the squeezy sort of crystal light liquid stuff that you put in water.
Mhm.
That's it. That's what was in the box. They could have waited for the shipment coming tomorrow or Monday, or because it's broken down into 4 different shipments, and I don't
Well,
understand.
did you tell them to ship it in less boxes? You have to select that
Is that
option.
an option? Because I've never done
Yes.
this before.
Yes, it's an option. You have to, if you have it set to deliver with your Prime shipping, like every 2 days, they're going to ship it as soon as they can get it.
Not Prime. This is Walmart.
Walmart, yeah, check Walmart.
No, I know Prime does it.
Yeah, you could check with Walmart. They might do it. I don't know.
I didn't see an option, but I'm going to look into it
We don't
because
ship too much from Walmart. Just that we did that Propel from Walmart.
they want like $98 a year to be on the free shipping thing, and we just no, I don't even like shopping at Walmart. I do most of it at Amazon.
Yeah.
I can't see it. Okay, so do you see what I was doing there? I kept adding, and
Mhm.
I'm adding blobs, and it's going down underneath and really making those cracks dark in some areas. Like that's why you want it to be a little liquidy, so it gets down in there and really brings those out. I mean, I love it, and I'm gonna touch a few places on here that I think are too white. All right. Well, I seem to have missed a spot. So doesn't that look like the desert sand after a rainstorm and baked in the sun? You know how it breaks it up and
Mm-hmm.
then
Pretty.
bakes it dry? I love it. So there's another one. I'm going to let dry. That one's too wet. These ones are starting to crack here. It doesn't really take that long. It just depends on how thick you make it. Like that one's going to take forever. All right, let's see. What else do I have here? I have a whole bunch made up. Oh, I have another look here. I want to play with these. So it's cereal box. See the red and the blue sticking through there. I'm really excited about the way these came out. They look like coral. Did anybody decide to do this on something you run through your embossing machine tonight?
No, I didn't have any of those ready.
I'm going to read some comments for a moment here. Let me go back a minute. Let's see. Peggy said it might come from different warehouses. That does make sense.
Yeah, but it was 5 cases of one flavor.
Yeah, well, and they might not stock that much.
I know, still.
I don't think they should offer it if they don't have it.
Oh my God.
What?
They shaved Charlie's hair off.
Oh.
Oh my God. Ah. He's got a buzz cut. They shaved all of his pretty hair off. Sorry.
Trudy said, no idea.
That was a shock. That was a shock.
Oh, that's okay. It'll grow back, Grandma. Trudy said earlier, no idea why I thought it would have music notes on it. Figured mixed
player piano. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Peggy. I like the muted look too. It's good on some of them. That's my white space. My white space. Those were quotes, air quotes. Because I do not like to leave a whole lot of white space. I'm not good at it. I like the muddy look too.
Sorry, Margie, but he doesn't even look the same. I was like,
it's your grandson, right?
Yeah. But she sent a picture, and I'm like, well, who is this? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, that's Charlie.
It's going to take something to get used to.
Yeah. You guys, his hair was long.
Thanks, Margie. She said it looks like an X-ray.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty cool.
It reminds me of trees or coral.
Peggy cuts up all her X-rays from surgeries for mixed media art.
Huh. I'm making a lamp for my son that is going to have, it was from I tried to have it done before Christmas and ran out of time. And I told him, you're just going to have to wait on this one. And I'm not telling you what it is, but he's going to love it. It's my pelvis before I had a hysterectomy. And he's got a sense of humor like his mom. And he's going to tell everybody that's where he came from. It's a swag light I'm making. I did make him a tray, though, and I painted on it with the X-ray inside the resin, but I painted on it and I wrote a poem about, becoming a human, basically, about being born, because it was his 30th birthday.
Yeah.
You got to do something special for him, and to him that is special. Most kids would be like, "What is this?" But not my son. He's amazing. He's an artist like his mom with a crazy wild spirit. Okay, so how do I want to color this? I think I'm going to go a little bit crazy here, and I'm just going to use a sponge or I don't know. I think a sponge, and let's pick a fun color here. Some color I haven't used yet tonight. I could blindly pick one out of the box. Oh yeah, let's do that. Citron. So I'm going to use paper towel, I think, or sponge. Let me see if I can find a sponge real quick. I just want to rub it on the color because it looks white, but I want to bring out those crackles and see if it works.
I've never gotten any of my X-rays either, Margie. I never get them. I don't know what they.
These are, it's the two that I put the crackle medium on, and it's the liquid one. It's the folk art one that's for furniture. I spread it on there really thick. I pressed them together, and I pulled them apart, and this is what I got.
Yeah, but
And
she
so
was
there's
talking
little
about
tiny crackles.
Peggy gets them cut up. I've never gotten my X-rays back. They never give them to me.
I feel like it started a tradition because then when I got my knee surgery, they gave me a picture. When I had my kidney stones, he gave me a picture. I don't know what the deal is where they're all given photos now. I should have the doctor sign it next time and just ask for his autograph. Is that what this
Yeah.
is? Can I have your autograph, sir? I could use a brush, but I mean, if I'm going to go over the whole thing anyway. Oh, yeah, the green's going down in the cracks. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. So I'll have to post pictures of it. I don't know if it won't show the cracks at least. There's big cracks on this side.
Oh.
Must have been thicker there. It's not as textured here, and sometimes texture is a visual thing. Sometimes it doesn't have to be really big texture to be texture. It can be something that's flat even, but it'll look textured because of all the different things going on, which is this.
Margie said, "Ooh, a Rorschach."
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah. I think we should do a thing with those. This doesn't have any texture at all other than the embossing powder. But it looks super textured. It's a visual thing, it can be flat. Just like your design can have rhythm. I'm going to do a different color. One that stands out more. Like yellow. Maybe it's yellow. Or red. Let's do red. I hope it doesn't cover the black. I'm going to spray it. Can't help it. I play with my sprays a lot. So I'm really glad that I got that deal with all the sprays because I experiment with those all the time and
Trudy
find
asked
out
what
what
you were
new things I
sponging
can.
on that.
What's that?
Trudy asked what you were sponging on that.
It was green citron Heidi
Oh.
Swap.
And Misty said good night. Good night, Misty.
Good
She's
night,
got to go.
Missy. Thank you so much for
Misty.
coming. It was good to have you. I hope you made some new friends here tonight. I hope everybody's chatting if they're
Yeah.
not doing. Okay, I'm going to let
Yeah, they're
that
still
sit.
talking about x-rays and stuff.
I just want to pull some of this up where it's mostly black card. I don't want my thumbprints in there.
Trudy, I'm with you. Cheesecake. Margie says
Oh,
she's got music,
yes.
rhythm, sponge, ink. Who could ask for more? Cheesecake.
Who could ask for anything more? I'm going to turn this off for a minute. My sound. Hold on.
Cheesecake. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, it'd be different with the encaustic, Diane. I'm not done too much with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Now they're seeing faces.
Oh, really?
Kind of,
There's a
sort of.
face?
Kind of. Well, if you kind of.
On which one? I want to look for it.
The red. The red. They said the red.
Oh, well,
The
that
face in
sounds
that
evil.
red. Yeah.
I'm going to look in my
Just
camera on my
if you
screen.
turn it to the right. So it's the other way. Nope, the other right.
The other right.
You see the nose? Kind of see it there?
Oh,
No?
it's a profile.
Yeah. Yeah, profile. Yeah.
It's an evil profile. Hmm.
Serious Hecka's here.
Oh, hey! She's back from dinner. She had a dinner reservation tonight. Well, I like the green. I think this needs more work, but that's for another day because I'm going to experiment and play with that one. I don't think I'm going to, I think I'm going to make the face go away. That's the plan. That's it. But I like that. And I think this could be turned into sort of a sea postcard. I see like those dragon
Sponges. See
horses that
sponges?
look like leaves.
Yeah.
And I have a stamp that says postcard, but you don't have to have that. You could just, use stickers or we're going to do another day where we turn some of these into postcards and you guys can play with color on your stuff if you haven't yet. If you haven't yet. This is still wet. Let's find something dry.
Serious Hecka says she loves the depth of color.
What's that?
She says she loves the depth of color.
Thank you. I'm really excited about these ones that we just made.
Trudy says the red one needs to be menacing.
It does it. Maybe that's a Halloween thing, or um, I'll just have to play with it and see
That one's
what I come
pretty.
up with.
That one is pretty.
Yeah, I really, really like them. I think I like the one with the purple most. Didn't I have another one? Oh, right here. So this one, I think I'm gonna, play with a bunch, and I want to get a lot more gold on there. I think that's the plan. I do like it.
Some
It's
black.
just
You add
it.
a little bit of black.
Yeah, I could do that. I think the gold acts as white space in my head, and without it, it feels naked. And it has gold, but it only at certain angles, so it's just not showing up as much.
Maybe add
Um,
some black around the gold. It might make it pop more.
it might, but I'm thinking more like
Trudy likes the one on the right.
some gold paint on my finger or some copper
Yeah.
paint on my
Yeah.
finger.
Yeah.
Paint really adds a lot more, it's more concentrated. Thank you, Trudy. All right, let's see. Another texture here that's dry.
Lisa says the gold is gorgeous. She adores the beautiful pieces you sent her in Happy Mail.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. These are the kind of things I keep on hand and that I might pop in Happy Mail, or I never know what I'm going to do with them when I make them. And I make them in bulk because I'm playing. So, I challenge you to be step out of your comfort zone, try something new, maybe dust off a product you haven't used yet or haven't really spent much time with, like me and embossing powders. And I wasn't comfortable with my alcohol inks before this. And I'm still learning as I go. We can only learn. That's what we're doing. I'm all stuffy today. I don't know why. I sound stuffy to me.
Sylvia says, "Will you write on them?" I maybe on the back, Sylvia, but I don't. You don't
Yes,
think you can
if
really
they
write on the
go in
front?
my if they go in my postcard box, I'll put
On the
probably
back, yeah.
scrap paper, postcard, and there'll be a line. But I would not pop them in the. I mean, it could go in the mail, but I wouldn't pop it in the mail. It's too pretty. It might go in a journal. It could be used as a background in a mixed media assemblage. I mean, these are the kind of things I just keep on hand.
Julie has rusting powder.
Oh, I have been looking for that all week. No one's selling it except for one place online, and their shipping is ridiculous. I just
Yeah,
can't.
shipping's crazy now.
Yeah. So I keep wanting Amazon to get it, and I know it's not there. But it made me look into some other things. Um, Pigment powders on Etsy. There's a lot of people that sell it, and it's for making cosmetics and paints. And it's not the glitter that you often see. That's not what it is. It's actually the from the earth pigments, um, like red iron oxide and yellow stuff. And there's a rust, or we can make our own rust powder, but it takes a long time to create because you have to really rust things, and you have to make a lot of liquid out of it, and you only get so much out of it in return when you drain off all the liquid. So I think that's a ways off. I mean, I could start a bucket now and have it in 6 months, but I don't want to wait 6 months. When I want it right now.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah,
Right now. Um, but I've looked every day for this week to find an alternative to the rusting powder or the rust powder in general. So I'm not going to gesso this one, and I'm going to play with it and see where it takes us. This is one that I did today, earlier, like this morning. I still feel like it needs some more zhuzhing. I can sure tell the difference if it's crackle paste or if it's light and fluffy, because light and fluffy does not crack. Don't do it. That's gotta dry. I love this. It'll be fun to make all these postcards for my postcard box one by one as I try new products and try new adventures, I think. So I'm not in a rush to fill it. I'm just going to play, and that's the perfect size for it. You've been threatening to use your husband's hot rod rust in your artwork. Well, all it takes is a bucket of screws, really. You don't have to take the car apart. I have the rust kit, Trudy, already. It's I mean it's fine. You guys see me use it all the time. I mean, you guys see the products I do with it all the time. I just want the sprinkles. So, oh, we could be using sprinkles. Maybe we'll do that. I do have these three. These three that are not glitter. And they might have some sparkle. They're Lindy's magical shakers. Why do I need to shake it? Oh. So maybe I do that. I put it on the list as an option because it's like the watercolor or like the sprays. And then I'm going to spray it with walnut ink. And a little bit of water. This is one of those things you're going to want to dry in between layers too. Oh, I should take a one of these. Oh, not that one. One of these. One of the gloss sprays because they're actually opaque and I can spray away that box. So Lisa, how was your dinner? Oh, I should make notes on the back of the postcards with what I used. That is what my Rolodex is going to be for and what I started doing on the Rolodex. I've been looking for one for a long time, like an old one. And I finally found one. And I thought I would put techniques on there, but first I have to have a play and discover the best way to do it. So I should be writing those on the back of these and then transferring a piece of it into the Rolodex, really. That would be a good idea. The postcard box that I just started on the live is going to be a place to put all the postcards that I make that are finished that I want to put in journals or use in projects. I just can't wait too long between writing it down and doing it, or I won't remember. I mean, for the most part, I can pick up on it, but I like the, I use a lot of different things, so it would be nice. I'm going to grab that purple. Or I'm going to grab that one. This one's almost gone. The I don't want the ones that get clogged easy because they're like a spray paint, like a actual spray. Are you there? Oh
No, sorry, my stuff.
no. Well, we just went fuzzy. And
Yeah.
I was having must be windy out, having trouble with the connection. Robot voice. Yes.
Yeah. Mine was messing up too. It was stuttering.
Sorry about that. It's almost time to go. That's what it's telling me anyway. Look at what happened. It resisted that spray because I didn't sand the box first or gesso it. Good to know. If we don't do it, we don't learn. So let's review what we've done. This is going to take a lot of work. Let's review. So tonight, get everything out here. We just did these, but they're not finished. But I love this. The other one needs work. Whatever. This was the inspiration, and it's got the thick gesso on it. I made up a bunch of cards ahead of time, and this one is really wet, but that one's going to be nice. It's very textured. I made up a few more, and you can do these ones yourself and get ready for some practice. And if you feel comfortable to get started, then go for it after it's dry, of course. Maybe make some tonight before you leave your art room for the night, and then they can dry and be ready for tomorrow. If you want to play now, I did this. That's so fun.
It's gorgeous.
That's one of my favorites. And then these here, and I will share pictures because I know they're not as vivid, and the purple shows up as blue because that's purple. I know that it turns out blue on.
It looks purple to me.
Does it look purple? I'm shocked. It looks blue on my screen. It all looks blue. It looks boring to me on my screen. Huh. And then this with the rainbows. I love it. So have yourself a play in your mediums and get ready if you want, and have them dry if you want to do this with me next time, and we will play with the color together. And maybe we'll just go step by step, color by color also in primaries. All right. Well, I thank you so much for being a part of this with me tonight. I was so excited to share. I hope that you learn something that you can walk away with and use in your own projects. And thank Candy for helping us out tonight. And a thumbs up would be amazing, ladies. Thank you so much. Margie said the blue isn't boring.
No, I love blue.
I love blue too, but to me it looks flat. It looks like one shade of blue. Um, you especially love the island one. Yes. When it gets done, it's going to be cool. With the uh, dendritic, is that what it's called? This one, and I know you can't see those cracks really. There we go. You see those cracks? There's cracks in there. It's very cool. Um, but I will post close-ups online, okay? And thank you so much for a great night, ladies. I'm
Good
glad
night,
you had
ladies.
fun. Next time we'll
Had fun.
laugh more because we'll interact more. No heatful. Okay. Have a magical night. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Night, ladies.